Said rolling around, sitting on doves, can't lie, I was high on shrubs.
So now we'll go back with another video. I'm Strange Wang, he is Nate. Today we are doing a different type of video because on our 2010's best of bracket video, he was like, that movie's not better than Whiplash. That movie's not better than Whiplash. That movie's not better than Whiplash. And I was like, God damn, you got a hard on for this fucking movie. And you was throwing out some wild picks of movies that weren't better than Whiplash. So today I'm going to name movies from the 2010's. And you going to say whether Whiplash is better than that movie, why or why not. But before we get to that, tell them about the social media.
If you scroll down the description box below, pop it up, and you'll find links to our social media accounts. We also have links to our Coffee account and our Patreon account. If you'd like to help our channel financially, we'd really appreciate it. And we need it right now because we're about to lose our studio space. And also there's a thanks button on YouTube. But if you're not going to do those things, subscribe because it's free.
It is indeed free. First, so we might have to do a part 2. There's like so many good movies from the 2010's. And like I took like a basic list of the best, not choosing my favorites, just like the best. And I have 9 on here, and there's about 15 that I wanted to do, just didn't have room for. Number 1, how to put it on the list. It was number 1 on everyone's list because everyone's smart and you're not. First on this list is Parasite. Is Parasite better than Whiplash? Why or why not?
No. The twist in Parasite, maybe it's just me. I'm not above admitting that film, for the most part, is pretty objective. But like, the twist in Parasite did not get me at all. It's like, that's cool. And other than that, it was just a bunch of people living in someone else's house for a little bit. So good for them. It just didn't blow me away. So, that being said, Whiplash, characters are way more interesting. There's only 2 of them that you really have to care about. And they have the best dialogue between those 2 movies. J.K. Simmons definitely has the best dialogue out of anyone between those 2 movies. And I am much more interested in watching these 2 go at it with their egos than I am about watching a bunch of squatters.
I think this will even it up 1-1. I'm not keeping track, but if you think Get Out is not as good as Whiplash.
Yeah, Get Out's better than Whiplash.
Okay.
Get Out is equally well as made, but it has a much better like subtext that is delivered sometimes subtly and sometimes not so subtly, which is incredible filmmaking because you can watch Get Out and know exactly what point it's trying to get across. And also if you're like a more of a thinking, like dissecting person, you can watch you can watch Get Out and you obviously understand like the obvious subtext of it, but then there's all these like little things in the dialogue and things around the house that you can like pick apart to get like more and more in depth in it, and that's it's really fucking good.
Next, I think this film is a perfect film.
Mm-hmm.
I think, to me, this is the highest. If I had to rate all the movies I've seen in the 2010s, this would be a 99 out of 100.
Is it Whiplash?
You're a funny guy. It's Ex Machina. For me, non-biased, that's just incredible filmmaking.
Yeah, I don't think Ex Machina is worse than Whiplash. That is incredible filmmaking.
But is it better than Whiplash?
Yeah. Ex Machina is better than Whiplash, for sure. Again, like, it's the intensity, it's the filmmaking as a whole, like, also, like, way different, right? Like, I mean, I almost feel like, in some ways, Ex Machina has more in common with Parasite than it does Whiplash. And I would also easily say that Ex Machina is a better movie than Parasite. So, yeah, no argument.
Okay. Some Damien Chazelle on Damien Chazelle violence.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
La La Land. I'm just kidding.
No.
Moonlight. I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. It's La La Land. I don't have Moonlight written down.
I could do both.
We'll say Moonlight for the next video.
Yeah, that was really tough. So, like, La La Land, I like more than Whiplash. I will watch La La Land many, many more times than I will watch Whiplash. That being said, Whiplash technically is a better movie. Like, to me, same level. I like La La Land a lot more. I fucking love La La Land. I will watch that movie so many times in my life. But Whiplash is better.
Mad Max Fury Road. Every list you look at, it's on the top 5.
Yeah.
Usually top 3.
That one's tough because, like, I was a huge advocate for Mad Max being the best movie of the 2010s for a long time, and then I rewatched it.
You fought me on Get Out.
Rewatched it earlier this year, and I don't know if it's just because I'd seen it before, if it was the mood that I was in, but Mad Max did not, like, it didn't do it for me as much as it did the second or third time I watched it. So, like, visually, like, technical achievement-wise, obviously that goes to Mad Max, right? But in terms of, like, story, character building, like, that's tough because Mad Max, like, he doesn't really talk much, right? Homie has, like...
Fury Road.
Like,
let's call it Fury Road.
Yeah, Fury Road has collectively, like, 2 minutes, maybe, of, like, Tom Hardy dialogue, which is part of what makes that movie incredibly good. It's an excellent film. I also think that, like, the technical achievements and the visuals and, like, how much of that is practical and stuff like that kind of, like, gives it a bump in some people's head. So I'm going to take the controversial route here, saying I think Whiplash is a better movie than Mad Max Fury Road.
Interessante.
Yeah.
Inception.
Oh, yeah. Whiplash is definitely better than Inception. Inception is a really good movie. Inception is weird because it's too long, but I don't know what you would cut. Like, so it kind of has to be.
There are movies like that.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Like, it is way too long, but again, everything that's in there is kind of needed. But there's also some stuff in Inception that just feel... I hate to say this. If the MCU doesn't exist, I think Inception is a better movie. Because these, like, big, grand scale, like, visual, like, masterpieces of achievement in Hollywood, like, now we get 2 or 3 of those a year. So it's, like, not as special anymore. So, like, when Inception came out, like, the city folding in on itself and all this, like, crazy, like, warped reality stuff that they were doing, that was, like, one of a kind. Like, could not get enough of it. But now rewatching Inception, it's like some of the dialogue is a little clunky. Pacing is like the last 2 times I've watched Inception, there have been a couple times where I'm like, I'm kind of bored. Like, and maybe that's just because I've watched it. I've probably watched Inception 4 or 5 times now. Whiplash does not do that.
Last but not least, one or two. That's where this film landed on as the greatest film of the 2010s. I have not seen it. You have, and it is The Social Network.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be on there. Honestly, this is probably the hardest one on the list for me. I think that they're neck and neck personally. I mean, can that be my answer?
Right.
They're just as good as each other.
You can cop out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to cop out. That's just like...
That's a cop out answer.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
Like, that's just being true to my feelings. Like, if you... Like, I feel like if you made me pick one, then I would want to say Social Network, but I feel like that's peer pressure.
You put a movie in right now, what are you putting in?
Like, Social Network versus Whiplash?
Yes.
Whiplash.
I feel like that's your answer.
But that's just because that's what I would prefer to watch. I also said I liked La La Land more than Whiplash, but Whiplash is a better movie. I like Whiplash more than I like The Social Network.
Which movie has better directing? You got Chazelle, you got Fincher. 2 heavyweight directors.
Yeah. I'd have to go Fincher on that one.
Dialogue. Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah.
Probably the GOAT with the pen.
I'm pretty sure Chazelle wrote Whiplash too. That's fucking tough because Whiplash is like, I mean, Whiplash is way more quotable, but the dialogue in The Social Network is just so tight, like beginning to end. I call it a tie.
I won't put no fingers up for
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Like if you say acting. J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
creepy ass Lex Luthor.
And so this is where I feel like that my opinion gets really controversial. To me, that one's really easy. I think it's Whiplash. The acting in Social Network is really, really good, but it also didn't take much. You know, like I definitely think that most of the people in like Garfield, Eisenberg, Justin Timberlake, you could recast most of them with someone else and make it just as good of a movie. You cannot replace J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. Like, you just can't. And the way that he acts it is like yeah, there's a lot of J.K. Simmons isms in that, but he dials it up perfectly. And Miles Teller, like, committing to like what he had to do in that role is way more impressive to me than what anyone in Social Network had to do. So I'm going to take Whiplash.
Cinematography.
I will go Whiplash on that one. Easily. Like Chazelle, and I can't remember the name of his DP that he always uses, but like
Johnny Sins.
Different kind of DP. Yeah, the shots that he like. Social Network is like editing is incredible in it. I don't know if you're going to ask me about editing, so I'll come back.
That for later.
I'm going to come back to it, but like the shots are. There's no shot in the Social Network that makes me go like, holy shit, that shot is amazing. It's pretty straightforward. Whereas Whiplash is like the musical scenes, the cutting back and forth, the like swoopy thing that Chazelle does in pretty much all of his movies that have existed so far. Like that, the cinematography in Whiplash is I almost feel like inarguably better than the cinematography in the Social Network.
Editing. Yeah, 3-2 split right now.
Yeah, I think that's a wash. Like, I really do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Investment. Last but not least, investment.
Whiplash. I'm much more invested in the story. Like,
so that puts us at 5-3 Whiplash. So I feel like your answer is Whiplash.
No, I guess my answer is Whiplash. I mean, by that standard, sure. I think there's a lot of intangibles that like can't necessarily be explained. Like, I understand why The Social Network is many people's answer to the best movie of the 2010s. I also think that a lot of those people haven't, like, Whiplash is just, like, so under the radar. Like, there's so many people that have not seen that movie, and, like,
yeah,
you know, I think that's part of the...
Let me see what Sony Classic is releasing this week.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I think that's part of the problem. So if you haven't seen Whiplash, you should go watch it.
Top 3 of the 2010s?
My top 3?
Non-bias. Your top 3. Non-bias. Is it top 3 of the 2010s?
Yeah, it's not necessarily in any specific order. This probably is the order, though. Get Out, Ex Machina, Whiplash.
Okay. There will be a part 2 of this because I still have to ask him about, is Whiplash better than The Wolf of Wall Street? Is Whiplash better than The Django? And there's a few others. But comment down below. Put in your comment section if he's crazy or not. Do you think Whiplash is underrated? Do you think it's overrated by his standards?
Have you even seen it?
Yeah, tell us all this down in the comment section below. What is your favorite film of the 2010s? Things like that we want to hear. Well, we can't hear anything. We'll read it, though. Well, he'll read it. I can't read. The Cat in the Hat. These words are too big. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a